I'm putting this up because the people who do not believe that race-specific biological weapons are possible, nor that our military will even consider developing such weapons a genocide. Race-specific biological weapons, or ethnic weapons, are biological weapons that target only one specific race of man. In other words, a biological weapon that will only kill black people, one that will only kill Latinos, one for white people, one for Germans, one for Italians, one for Arabs, one for Russians, and so forth, etc. These race-specific biological weapons were not only being considered, but research was also being done towards development of said weapons in a variety of chemical and genetic areas, not just by the United States military either.
Black bodies swinging in the southern.
So since it appears that a lot of people still think it's bullshit, I'm putting up this video. This is an excerpt from pages 9 and 10 of the PDF of the Ethnic Weapons article. The entire article discusses several avenues that were being studied for exploitation of race in order to develop these race-specific biological weapons. That's just this example. Now, what this is saying here is that they study how milk affects different races of people, and then from that they were able to extrapolate that these biological weapons could definitely be developed. It is quite clear from the article that these weapons were not only possible and being considered, but research was also already being done towards development of said weapons in a variety of genetic and chemical areas, like I said before. This section of the article is also telling us that Chinese and other East Asians are very sensitive to milk. The article is also telling us that putting a biological weapon in Chinese and East Asians' milk supplies would be a very effective weapon. This is an excerpt from page 10 of the PDF, under the section Search Continues. That means labs were working on these types of weapons with the objective of immobilizing or killing the target population without damage to property, such as the buildings, crops, etc. The required amount of the biological agent would be very small. Perhaps now some people will understand why so many anti-NWO activists are so concerned about the FEMA coffins and industrial ovens in some of the FEMA concentration camps.
Here are your coffins, which you paid for, with your tax money. There are millions of them waiting for you in different states across the country. Each coffin can hold 3 or 4 people, and most of you will be crammed into one right after martial law is declared in America.
We're just getting an idea for the size of these boxes. What could these boxes be used for? Well, they're called casket liners. And that's an interesting term, isn't it? Casket liner. When I first heard the term casket liner, I thought perhaps a lining for a casket. But this is too big to be on the inside of a casket. Certainly this could be used as a casket. This is an inexpensive casket. And you can see the size here, there's lots of room. I think my friends here, we could all probably get inside. It might be a little cozy, but we fit just fine. Which tells me that these liners can be used for more than just one.
The second paragraph says that these weapons can be used for covert activity, perfect for organized stalking, targeting individuals, or clean stalking as it's called, or it can be used for targeting of specific foreign leaders. By now, between these types of weapons and the more recently developed directed energy weapons, microwave weapons, microwave hearing weapons, some factions of the New World Order here can probably give targeted people cancer or any number of illnesses. Add to this the micro-UAVs, organ insects, and other flying monkeys that are available today to deliver the toxin. Check out NSA Flying Monkeys, Organ Insects, and Micro-UAV in Chicago. And there's some photographs there by someone else in Chicago that caught somebody's micro insects flying out of the yard. And watch innocent insects and biological weapons, organized stalking, fact-based theory. You might find that interesting.
Strange fruit.
Micro-air vehicles, or MAVs, will play an important role in future warfare. Individual MAVs may perform direct attack missions and can be equipped with incapacitating chemicals, combustible payloads, or even explosives for precision targeting capability.
It's easy to understand why Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez is accusing the U.S. of giving cancer to leftist Latin American leaders. The U.S. has a long-standing reputation for creating all kinds of bizarre weapons to kill people and make it look natural.
The CIA labs developed a poison pill that could be slipped into Castro's drink. But before the toxin could be used, the insider recruited to administer the drug was demoted. The next plan was to have the owner of Castro's favorite restaurant put poison in his soup. But Castro stopped eating at the restaurant. The ideas became even more preposterous. A deadly fungus sprayed into the breathing apparatus of his diving equipment. The exploding cigar and the poison cigar.
The second paragraph also says that these weapons can be used for mass destruction as well. However, the known procedure of building tolerance to the weapon by exposing the whole personnel beforehand and acclimating them to it is likely not possible because it would be too difficult to conceal the large-scale preparations. So there would be no preparing home troops against a biological weapon.
Blood on the leaves.
The last paragraph says that an attacker could have their own people inside a country. They use such a biological weapon to incapacitate or kill specific races of people in the country while leaving the attacker's people unharmed by the ethnic weapon, or only slightly affected by it. The projected ratio is 1 out of 10 of the attacker's people would be affected.
Blood on the leaves.
The dead bodies would have to be disposed of in every one of the NWO population control plans, not just in the event of biological weapons. A biological weapon that does not kill instantly would provide time to remove bodies as the weapon spreads across the land. Instant death would leave too many rotting corpses to remove before the air becomes contaminated. That is a concern with all the New World Order plans to kill people off in one shot. However, the taxpayers have built plenty of nice, comfortable underground bunkers that are fully stocked, so the traitors will be able to hide underground until the surface air is safe. If it comes to that, those underground bunkers are a key matter in these New World Order takeovers, not just this aspect. As to how I know about this particular New World Order genocide plot, see 1982 MK Ultra brainwashing details in my citing of Wittgenstein thread.
Blood on the leaves.
This excerpt is taken from the letter I sent Representative Jesse Jackson Jr. in July 2010, which I later published in the September 2010 Post. I don't know if you remember Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. He's the one that went nuts last year and is under investigation now. And one thing I noted in another post was that the NSA devil worshipper, the witch's daughter, surfaced right after I contacted Jackson a second time. It's like somebody shook the cover-up tree and fruit fell out.
Was soll der Scheiß? Was soll die Scheiße?
So that's the facts part pertaining to this November 1970 Military Review article, Ethnic Weapons. Race-specific biological weapons, weapons that will only kill one kind of people, are very real possibility, and there has been work to develop them.
Swinging in the southern breeze. hanging from the poplar trees, from the poplar trees. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, from the poplar trees.